After the age of 60, there is something that catches many people completely off guard. Sometimes, the very thing that is making your kidneys work overtime is not junk food, not sugary soda, not processed snacks from a bag. It may very well be the vegetables you have been eating for years, the ones you still believe are actively supporting your health. A spinach smoothie first thing in the morning, a generous helping of potatoes alongside your dinner, a glass of beet juice because someone told you it was excellent for blood pressure, a serving of tomato sauce that looks completely harmless on your plate, or those leafy greens that everyone online keeps calling superfoods. They all sound like healthy choices, don't they? But if your physician has ever mentioned that you need to keep an eye on your kidney function, your blood potassium levels, your risk of kidney stones, or those lab results that are no longer where they used to be, then these everyday vegetables may be worth a much closer look. Because when your kidneys are already weakened and struggling, some vegetables can quietly add more burden to your body day in and day out without you ever realizing it. And here is the truly frightening part. Your kidneys very often do not sound a loud alarm in the beginning stages. You may simply feel a little more tired than usual. Your feet or ankles might swell slightly at the end of the day. Your body may feel heavier, more sluggish than it used to. And you might tell yourself, well, I suppose this is just part of growing older. But sometimes it is not just aging, sometimes it is your kidneys quietly, desperately asking for help. So today, I am going to show you 5 vegetables that may silently be stressing your kidneys. Number 1 on our list is potatoes. Now, let's move on to the first one, potatoes. This food is so incredibly common that most people never even connect it with kidney health at all. Mashed potatoes at dinner, baked potatoes alongside a meal, French fries at family gatherings, sweet potatoes, which many people believe are the healthier alternative. But for people with kidney concerns, both potatoes and sweet potatoes have one specific thing that deserves your full attention: potassium. Potassium is an important mineral. Your body genuinely needs it. It helps your muscles and your heart work properly. But when your kidneys are weakened, your body may not remove potassium as efficiently as it used to. And when too much potassium builds up in your bloodstream, it can directly affect the rhythm of your heart. That is precisely why so many people with kidney disease are told by their doctors to carefully watch their intake of high potassium foods. A potato looks simple, it looks gentle, it looks completely harmless sitting on your plate. But for weakened kidneys, it is not just a vegetable. It can become a significant mineral load placed directly on the body's filtration system. Imagine your kidneys as an old gatekeeper who has been working hard for many, many years. When that gatekeeper was young and strong, he could handle a lot coming through the gate without any trouble. But as he gets older, he simply cannot open and close that gate as quickly as before. If too much potassium comes rushing in all at once, that old gatekeeper may not be able to keep up with the demand. Now, this does not mean that everyone has to give up potatoes completely, but if you have kidney disease, high potassium levels, or your doctor has specifically told you to be careful with your diet, potatoes should not be treated as a casual, everyday food. There is one method that many renal dietitians often mention. Cut the potatoes into small pieces. Soak them in water for several hours. Then boil them in fresh water. This process may help reduce some of the potassium content. But please remember this clearly. Soaking and boiling does not magically turn potatoes into something you can eat without limits. Portion size still matters most. Do not eat a full plate just because it tastes good. When it comes to your kidneys, a small, measured portion may be much safer than a large, generous serving eaten without any thought. Number 2 on our list is Swiss chard. Now, let's talk about the second one, Swiss chard. This is a beautiful vegetable. Green leaves with colorful, vibrant stems. It looks natural, fresh, and healthy. On healthy eating websites and blogs, it is often praised as a nutrient rich green powerhouse. But for people with kidney concerns, Swiss chard may need caution because it can contain both potassium and oxalates in significant amounts. In other words, it may create two different kinds of pressure on your kidneys at the same time. One side is potassium, which is closely connected to heart rhythm and mineral balance in the blood. The other side is oxalate, which is connected to kidney stone risk in some people. Think of an older person carrying two heavy bags, one in each hand. One bag is already tiring, but carrying both at the same time can wear the body out much faster. That is what can make Swiss chard quietly risky for some people. It is not like fast food. It is not like candy. It is not like soda. It does not make you suspicious right away. It shows up on the plate looking like a perfectly healthy vegetable. But if your kidneys are weak, something that looks healthy may still not be right for you. And this is the biggest lesson you can take from these five vegetables. The problem is not that vegetables are bad. The problem is that your body's condition has changed. After 60, especially if you already have kidney disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney stones, or your doctor has told you to watch your potassium, you simply cannot always eat the same way you did at 30 or 40. At this stage of life, your body is like a car that has been on the road for many, many years. It can still run. It is still valuable. It can still take you far. But you cannot pour in just any fuel, overload it, and expect it to stay quiet. Your kidneys are exactly the same way. Your kidneys do not need you to be afraid of them. They need you to understand them better. Number 3 on our list is spinach. Now, let's begin with the very first one. And this is a vegetable that many people never, ever suspect. Spinach. For a vast number of people, spinach has become almost the ultimate symbol of healthy eating. You see it in salads. You see it blended into green smoothies. You see it featured in detox videos. You see it in meals that people proudly call clean eating. Many individuals over the age of 60 think to themselves, the more leafy greens I eat, the better it must be for my body. And on the surface, that sounds perfectly reasonable. But when your kidneys are weak, it is simply not that straightforward. Spinach is exceptionally high in oxalates. Oxalates are natural compounds that occur in many plants. However, when too much oxalate enters your body, it can bind with calcium and form tiny, sharp crystals. Think of it this way. If your kidneys are like a small water filter sitting on your kitchen counter, then too much oxalate is like tiny grains of sand that keep getting trapped inside that filter. A small amount may not cause any significant problem, but if you keep adding more and more sand every single day, especially through concentrated forms like smoothies or juices, that filter is going to start struggling. The biggest issue is not eating a few spinach leaves in a salad once in a while. The much bigger problem is throwing a large, heaping handful of spinach into your blender every single morning, drinking it down in just a few minutes, and believing with absolute certainty that you are doing the very best thing for your health. When you chew a bowl of leafy greens, it feels like a substantial amount of food. But when you blend those greens into a smoothie, you may end up consuming several times more than you would ever eat in a salad. For a healthy person with fully functioning kidneys, this may not be a major issue. But if your doctor has ever mentioned kidney stones, weakened kidney function, or lab results that are simply not as good as they used to be, spinach is definitely something to be careful with. Not because spinach is inherently bad, but because when your kidneys are already under stress, even too much of a good thing can still become a serious burden. As many older folks in America like to say, too much of a good thing is still too much. Even something that is genuinely healthy can become a problem when you overdo it. So, if you enjoy leafy greens, please ask your doctor or a renal dietitian which specific greens are better suited for your particular condition. And if you still choose to eat spinach, do not turn it into a giant smoothie every single morning. Number 4 on our list is beets. Now, let's talk about the fourth one, beets, and especially beet juice. In recent years, beets have been praised absolutely everywhere. People say they are good for blood pressure, good for circulation, good for energy, good for athletic performance. And yes, beets do contain beneficial compounds that can be helpful in certain contexts. But for someone who is worried about kidney health, especially someone who is prone to kidney stones, or someone who needs to carefully control their potassium intake, beet juice can become a real trap. Why? because drinking juice is simply not the same as eating the whole food. When you eat a small serving of beets alongside a meal, you chew, you feel full, and you naturally limit your portion. But when beets are turned into juice, you may drink a much larger amount without ever feeling like you have eaten too much. It is just like oranges. Eating one whole orange is very different from drinking a glass of orange juice that was made from 3 or 4 oranges. The body receives a much more concentrated amount, faster, stronger, and all at once. Beets also contain oxalates. For people who tend to form oxalate kidney stones, this matters a great deal. On top of that, beets also contain potassium, and if your kidneys are already weakened, potassium is simply not something you can afford to ignore. The dangerous part is that so many people drink beet juice with complete unwavering confidence. They think to themselves, I am not drinking soda, I am drinking vegetable juice. But natural juice is not always gentle on the kidneys. When the kidneys are weak, natural does not automatically mean safe. Some things from nature still require the right amount, the right person, and the right health condition. So if your doctor has told you that you have kidney disease, high potassium, or a history of kidney stones, do not start drinking beet juice every single day just because someone online told you it was healthy. Health is not a contest to see who can consume the most healthy things. Health is knowing what truly fits your own unique body. Number 5 on our list is concentrated tomato products. Now let's move to the fifth one, concentrated tomato products. Here I am not talking about a few fresh tomato slices in a salad. What truly deserves your attention is tomato sauce, tomato paste, ketchup, tomato juice, or any sauce that uses a large amount of concentrated tomato. Tomatoes are familiar, comforting, and easy to love. Many people see them as healthy because they contain antioxidants and have a bright, inviting color. They are easy to eat and easy to cook with. But when tomatoes are cooked down and concentrated, the amount of potassium in just one serving can rise very quickly. A small spoonful of sauce is one thing, but a large bowl of pasta covered in rich tomato sauce, a thick tomato soup, or a can of tomato paste used in a big pot of family style sauce, that is a completely different story. Think of it this way. A fresh tomato is like one small letter being sent to your kidneys, but concentrated tomato sauce is like a whole stack of letters being stuffed into the mailbox all at once. Healthy kidneys may be able to handle that load, but weakened kidneys may feel that burden much more intensely. Many older adults make this mistake because they think, I cooked it at home, so it must be healthy. But homemade does not always mean kidney safe. If the ingredients are high in potassium, if the portion is too large, or if you eat it again and again throughout the week, your kidneys may still have to work much harder than they should. The good news is that you do not have to give up flavor completely. You can use less tomato sauce. Keep the portion smaller. Then build flavor with garlic, onion, basil, oregano, pepper, or other salt-free herbs and spices. That way, the meal still smells wonderful, still feels familiar and comforting, but it may place less pressure on your kidneys. And this is very important for older adults. We do not need to eat so blandly that every single meal feels sad and unsatisfying, but we do need to eat smarter.